Hello, folks. It's your weekly select board meeting on the 18th of July. Hopefully you're all inside, not sitting in your car or something, or with this rain going on. We'll start with our town clerk report, as we usually do.
Okay. On Thursday, the 30-day lien notices are going to be sent out for the 2022 taxes. Absentee ballots for the municipal election will be available 45 days prior to the election, and that will be next Tuesday, July 25th. We got hit really bad Sunday, as we all know. Just wanted to really thank Maya and his crew. We did not get one complaint on Monday for the roads. He jumped right on it, and it was impressive. So, and that kind of leads into what I heard over the weekend, and I just want to clarify Route 153. To be honest with you, my uncle came to my house. He had called DOT because there's been a bad washout. I did include a picture in the map just for discussion. That's been there for 3 months. It's a well-traveled road. There's a lot of motorcycles. There's a lot of traffic. He called to complain to DOT that it still wasn't fixed. Sunday's storm made it a whole lot worse. Now the tar is undermined and it's falling in the hole. He came and saw me and said, they're telling me Parsons Field's responsible for summer maintenance. I said, well, I'll clarify on Monday. Talked to David, I talked to Debbie, and they said, yep, we are responsible for summer maintenance. I was told to text Maya, and that he had 24 hours to fix it. I texted Maya, and Maya's response was, since when are we responsible for summer maintenance on Route 153?
Yeah, Maya, I'm
Maya
sure
had
didn't
no idea.
know about it. Yeah, and that's our fault.
So I guess my question is, are we responsible for winter and summer maintenance, both on Route 153?
We are responsible. It's not Route 153, it's Province Lake Road. Route 153 in Maine is up north somewhere. We've been told that by DOT. It's 153 in New Hampshire. Our side is just Province Lake Road, and yes, we are responsible for it, period.
So those lines on that map are accurate. It goes from Hasty Road all the way in front of Province Lake, across the bridge, Province Lake on the other side.
I believe
Is
so.
that it?
Yeah, I would say that's about, well, if it's whatever's in Maine is now ours. I didn't know either.
Yeah.
I didn't think we had summer maintenance.
I never even gave it a thought about the summer maintenance because they never said anything about summer maintenance. The only thing they ever said was the plowing.
Yeah, was to talk to New Hampshire about plowing.
Yeah, so
you're right.
I never even gave it a thought, but
Yeah.
should have just assumed, I guess, that they were gonna give us the whole darn thing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you partly why is because all these other roads that didn't really come to mind, like Elm Street, Molten Hill Road, we plow them, but we don't do summer maintenance.
Right.
So I just
Exactly.
assumed that was the same thing here. I had no clue that they.
Yeah.
So there was an agreement signed to actually take ownership of this road.
No, there's no agreement. They forced it down our
Yeah,
throat.
the
and said
agreement
there's
is they
no,
said
you
it's
have no
yours.
choice. Ed fought them for 6 months,
Okay.
and they literally
I'm
about
just
the
curious
plowing.
because as far as the date, when did it become our responsibility? What's the date? Like, when did this happen?
So Ed fought with them a year ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah, a year ago.
Ed got him to plow it again for free last year, right?
And this year was gonna be for half.
This year, yeah.
So we
This
pay
is
for
when it's
half of
coming
the
up?
plowing, so why wouldn't we pay for half of the, if we're supposed to? I don't remember anything about summer road maintenance.
They said it's not a state road anymore, and I'm like, anyways, Ed put in a valiant effort. We talked to plenty of people, and they wouldn't budge. They just kept saying, well, unfortunately, that's what
Yeah,
you get.
you're a feeder road and you're not this, and we did studies on the number of cars on the road and where they were going, and it was all New Hampshire, not all. 75% New Hampshire cars on the road.
So we don't have an actual date on when this got changed over.
Well, we have a time when they called us, but it was like Ed was in negotiation with them, and then they never said anything about summer maintenance ever one time. They never said, as of now, you need to do summer maintenance, not one time.
I just feel like for record keeping, if you go back, I mean, what do we say? When did we take over summer and winter maintenance? When's that date?
I'd say January 1st, 2023, put it if you want something for the record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure it matters that much. I understand record keeping is nice, but
Okay,
basically it's ours.
all right, so New Hampshire's starting this year to plow?
New Hampshire,
For
we
Parsons.
hope,
New Hampshire's always been plowing.
Right, but we're gonna pay New Hampshire to plow that road?
I think
Apparently this year, we're gonna pay New Hampshire one half of
half,
the cost.
And how much is that?
Well, it was like 15,000.
15,000?
was half or all of it?
I think that was all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all. of it.
Yeah.
We'll pay half.
That's what New Hampshire billed Maine,
Okay,
Maine DOT.
so
And Maine
15,000.
DOT was the one that was
Yeah.
talking to us.
Is that
Next-
gonna be a separate article at town meeting? Or is that gonna be added to the 3-year contract in that article?
I would
What's
say,
your contract? We're-
Well, your winter maintenance
no, he
article
does, no,
says,
New Hampshire plows it still,
Yeah,
New Hampshire's
but
plowing,
we're paying New Hampshire to plow it.
yeah.
yes.
So how are we paying?
We're
for that?
paying, I don't know who we're paying, we're either paying Maine or New Hampshire, one or the other.
So how do we pay them?
Road maintenance this year, I guess, I don't know.
Yep,
In Article 24, the winter roads?
I guess it
well,
probably
the
could,
winter roads are contract.
I understand that, but is
Yeah.
that, you've got winter roads, you've got sand and salt, is there gonna be a
Right.
line item for,
I would say
Paying
going
Hampshire.
forward, I would just add
well-
whatever it's gonna be to the price of the plow contracts,
Right.
you know, just add it into the winter maintenance. you know,
there's a
going
separate
forward.
line though.
Like next year, we'll be paying the whole thing. Like Maine's not gonna pick up half of it,
Right.
the town's gonna pay the whole thing, so we'll know, we'll talk to New Hampshire by June, July, they wanna know by July 4th or whatever this year, so you talk to them by then, and whatever they say they're gonna charge, you just add that into the winter road maintenance, and that's what
so
it'll be.
for this warrant, you're gonna need to put a line item for half,
Yeah, we can
correct?
put a line item.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're developing it, so I was just kinda curious where this was gonna go. How long is that section? Because we're gonna have to add that to LRAP, correct?
2 miles.
2 miles?
1.8,
I'm not
miles.
certain, I think it was something, that rings a bell, but I didn't like go over and measure it.
Alright, so that would be included to the total mileage for the town then? And that would affect your LRAP budget and what you get back from the state? Okay,
so they pick up $10.
and summer budget, you said that is probably gonna get raised anyway, so that
I
would,
feel it needs to be, and I can't imagine too many people are gonna argue it.
cause there's a bridge on that section as well. Does that mean that that's our
Probably,
responsible too?
absolutely, I'm sure it is, I can't
Okay.
imagine it isn't.
Okay, I just wanted clarification, so when we see washouts again on Route 153, who we call, I guess.
Yep, as long as it's, well,
Within that 2 mile range.
Right,
In Maine, it's in Maine.
In Maine, yeah.
yeah, that, because that northern part, only half of the road is in Maine. The southern part where it takes a spin out.
Yeah, that's right, so if it's on the south side, don't call us. Call
right,
New
well, it's on
Hampshire.
your map, it goes from Hasty Road down to Province Lake, in front of Province Lake.
Right,
Okay,
but I was saying that northern part, the northern half of that road is in New Hampshire, so.
Right.
well, it turns by the antique store.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's not on the map.
okay.
Yep, got it. Okay,
No, I think what David meant is the line goes down the center of the road,
Right.
so we theoretically, what's on the
We-
south side of the
We'll
road,
fix our half.
what's
of the
on the
road.
south side of the road or southwest
On the west side,
would
yeah.
be New Hampshire's responsibility.
okay, so
Down
that's,
to that
that's
point.
good to know, so the yellow line does split the responsibility.
It's, I would assume that, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? I mean, if the line goes down the center of the road, then that's
That's
a
what
good.
we were always told.
So maybe it's only this section over here that we need to do. I don't know. I guess we gotta talk to New Hampshire
Can
about
we
it and find
clarify?
out what's going on.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta have to clarify it. So your Province Lake, where it takes that turn, that's all ours, but on the line, like David said, that's half and half.
Yes.
You think?
It, I would say by rights it should be, if the line goes down the center of the road.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you.
Oh, joy. All right. We've approved last week's minutes, and we're approving tonight's agenda with one exception. The executive session will not be held. It'll just be the, normal meeting. We only had, this is a record, folks. We only had to approve $1,015.24 for next week. That's a record. So we reviewed the bills to be paid and paid the bills that are supposed to be paid. And everyone should be happy.
Well, there's a little caveat to what you just said,
Yes.
and that is that the warrant that was printed yesterday does not include the motor vehicle. Because it was printed yesterday, and they closed out today.
So,
There's another $3,000.
Oh, okay.
Which we collect, but it isn't our money anyways.
So it's a pass-through.
Yes, exactly.
So I was only counting the money that we pay.
Okay.
All right. We've got our code enforcement officer. If I can find the report for the month of June. By the way, this package, Danielle, is what is the package for the town report that goes in. So we'll go over that next week or something, whenever you. But like 6 building permits, 6 plumbing permits, 48 hours in the office, 228 phone calls, and meeting with a half a dozen people on various issues, so. That was the CEO's report for June. We did have the sheriff's report last Tuesday. Animal control, that was a couple of weeks ago. Planning board. There was just emails between the planning board chair and Gerard Clifford concerning some concerns, which makes sense, concerning concerns. Appeals board. We have an appointment sheet for Marion Wright. I don't think it's in the pink folder there, so Debbie, our assistant, isn't here today. So she'll be talking to Marion about scheduling Marion to come in and be officially added to the Board of Appeals. So comprehensive committee. Next meeting is
25th,
the 26th,
25th.
5th or 6th?
5,
Well, it says,
according to Harvey.
okay, Harvey, we'll give you the 25th, your meeting.
It's always the last Tuesday of the month.
And speaking of meetings, are you doing anything with the budget committee?
I would like to, yes.
That's good. You're still on the budget committee, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, why don't you gather the troops together?
All right, what is the time frame right now?
Danielle, when do you, I mean, we're talking next week or two, Harv.
Well, it's up to Debbie, she still has to finish the budget,
Oh, I know, but
yeah.
that's,
So we've got,
A day or
we have
two.
tons of requests, yeah. So they can get started anytime.
but the budget, I mean, you can,
What's Deb out for? Is she out?
No, just today.
just today,
Okay, so I'll talk with her tomorrow
okay,
and see if we can get that going.
started.
Yeah.
Uh, The solar update, I know, Dave, you had a chance to talk to those folks
I
and,
haven't. I mean, it's just frustrating. I talked to them and they say, no, we haven't heard anything from CMP. I will, however, make an effort to contact.
Do we have a new contact, or they keep changing?
Not new recently.
Okay,
Yeah, there's been a couple along the way.
okay. Number 7, see the word none? That reflects a mill that will not be named. We have I'm looking for the next, well, the Stanley Building course, we have no new news on that. That's really being handled between the new mill owners and the owners of the Stanley Building. So the town really has no involvement in that. We've had a chance to look at the engagement letter. We're not getting married, but it sounds like they're, with our auditors, and this will be for a 4-year period. This is from the 21st, June of 21 to 25, so they'll be starting the audit for the 2021. They'll be starting that as soon as we sign this.
And we are going to include some words
About the timing and the, right.
getting through this a little quicker.
Yeah, we want them to provide a schedule of how they plan to, and the timing for their audits.
The last couple have just been stretched out way too far.
I mean, we're probably a year or two behind in the sense of the official audits, but we've been changing systems and trying to do things a little differently. Mechanical services, do we have anything come through on that?
No, I let that one slide, my bad, my bad.
Okay, there are funds for the grind brush. This is from really the first storm, which will be reimbursed for Douglas Jones excavation from Bethel, Maine, and did all the work for Meyer. So Meyer had him send us a bill, and that should be included in our FEMA expense for the December storm. Debbie and Meyer are meeting with the FEMA representative tomorrow. So hopefully that will expedite the reimbursement. Obviously, we've paid for all this, and it's come out of our road maintenance funds. So we'd like to reimburse that account, and we'll be talking to people in the budget committee about adding some more money into that account, since $200,000 doesn't go far in 80 miles of roads. I guess I can. Socrates Rescue. For the month of June, just give people an idea. This will be in the annual report. 79 calls. Socrates Rescue handled 72, which is a very good number. Received mutual aid on 7. That's where another town covers for us. Parsonsfield had 31 calls. We must have been a sick town in June. Cornish 19, Hiram 18, Porter 10, Parsonsfield 31. So it gives a breakdown of the reasons for the calls and the response time. I've asked the rescue people to break out the response time a little differently. they have like 12 minutes average response, which I'm sure is accurate, but I'd like to know what the response time for Parsonsfield is. I'm sure it's a lot more than 12 minutes, since we have the biggest area and are the farthest away. They have requested funds for the purchase of a 2022 ambulance. They gave us all the specs, all the specifics, and that money was approved. Let's see, when was that approved? New vehicle, town deputy, ambulance. That was approved a special meeting on 6/21. So we have that money available through ARPA. We're just waiting for the other 3 towns to approve their part of the money, and then we'll be all set. We're each paying a third, which comes to about, each paying a quarter, which comes to about $160,000 total. The rescue is looking to get a grant for a couple $100,000, which Susan Collins' office is working diligently on. So that will hopefully go through. Jen Lewis gave us a report for June. For the request for approval of dishwasher. The original commercial dishwasher was like $6,000. We asked Jen to get a price on a used dishwasher, since really, we're using this, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times a month. She has received a price of a used dishwasher of $3,000, which includes installation. The only additional cost would be the electrical hookup. All this cost for this was approved in that same 12/6/22 special meeting, all in ARPA funds. So we're slowly upgrading the building to handle things like we're doing, plus emergencies. I don't know if you guys, would you like to vote on accepting the $3,000 bid? And even though the money's all approved, I mean, it's just a formality,
Make a
but.
motion that we approve the $3,000 for the used dishwasher.
Okay, second motion. All in favor? 3-0?
And I will get in touch with Keith Logan, see if he's available to do
The installation?
electrical work. Well, the electrical work.
Okay.
Yeah, the installation is included.
Good,
in
right,
it,
right, I'm just trying to,
Except for the electrical work.
hopefully it's 220 and there shouldn't be much electrical
It
changes.
should be, but who knows?
That's true. We did not need an executive session today. So, we have a request for our budget, the Ungrateful Dead budget request, $500.
The Grateful Undead.
Wait, what do I say? I keep screwing that up.
Yeah. Okay.
The,
I don't know why that's on there. I mean, we have all kinds of budget requests.
I know,
but
just
decide.
whatever.
Yep.
So that will be included in the annual report, along with the, the library and Life Flight and all those things St. Matthews, things we contribute to as a town. That's about it from the formal agenda viewpoint. Harvey, you got something
Oh, yes,
magnificent you'd like to say?
yeah. As far as the budget goes, the cemetery fence, we haven't got a quote on that yet. Should we increase the budget for the cemetery? We already have things in there, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 probably.
Whatever we can, if you people feel, if the budget committee feels that it should be done, get a price and the town can vote on it.
All right, if you want that as a warrant, or if you want it on a budget issue.
Do we have that in the, we have an expense for the
For the cemetery.
For the cemeteries, why don't you just add that into the cemetery expense?
Okay, I'm guessing that it'll probably be somewhere around $10,000. That's only my guess. That's
It's a lot of money to
fence.
keep dead people in one spot.
Well, don't want them to get out.
Well,
Okay.
a bigger fencer.
All right, well, I'll look into that anyways. Any suggestions for how we go about doing the crosswalks in Cedar Falls? There is
I mean, it says, we will have to be in touch with the state. I mean, they just finished the Cornish.
There is one access that is ADA compliant, which is across from pretty much the hardware store, or a little bit more to
Yeah, I
it.
don't know how many crosswalks they have to put in, or, I'm sure there's some guidelines as far as space between crosswalks and distance from curves and all that good stuff.
So that's a DOT issue,
Yes,
and that has to be looked at from the town perspective.
well, not the state perspective.
Well, yeah, but the town has to
What?
ask DOT.
Yes, yeah, it also wouldn't get done for a while, I'm assuming.
Well,
So we'll check with the DOT, Harv, and see when they're on their busy schedule.
all right, I'll talk with Deb tomorrow about the budget. And it's good you got the dishwasher going, that's good. Do we, question, let me get this one thing out before. I went down to, I had a text from Maya saying that there was somebody living behind the salt building on Secocas Road.
Okay.
So I went down there and took a look, and he was there. He has a mess there, and he had a mattress against the building, and he was inside, hooked up to the box and everything else, so we had light at night, and who knows what else he was running. So I took it upon myself to turn off all the circuit breakers there and secure the lock, and put a new lock, because the lock had been cut. So I put a bigger lock on it, and if you need the key, the same keys that you have for the sign, the electric sign out there, the speed sign, there's a key on there that will unlock that if you have to get in there. If not, you can get in touch with me, and before the new guy gets in there or whatnot. Probably won't have to do anything till winter anyway. So I think that shut him down a little bit.
Did you talk to Darren at all, or?
No, I haven't talked to Darren. I also put up a no trespassing sign on that building, so now he can do something about it. I've run into occasions where before he couldn't do anything because there was no trespassing sign. So, if you do have a complaint down there, Danielle, that can be accessed.
Okay.
So, I also have a question about making Secocas Road park. Does that need to be part of the warrant, or would that be just a selectmen's decision, or how would we go about that? I want to make sure that we're.
What do you want to do?
Well,
We
just
talked about this, making it into a little park area on the right, the section that the solar people are excluded from their solar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It has anything that's excess of the solar farm along the river and, the boat ramp area. So, I don't know if that would be a town warrant issue or not.
Well, we'd have to figure out what we're gonna be doing, Harv.
Yeah.
We don't,
Okay, we have, well, I been talking with Jen about it, and they seem to be interested in it. So, and the other thing is, I want to start a conservation commission, which that would come under the Conservation Commission park area. So if that's the case, I guess that would be the route to go. I don't know how to take that and put it in a permanent, park for the town, so nobody can go ahead and just arbitrarily.
Well, you're talking of the area on the river,
Yeah, the twin.
that where the old
gates,
foundations
Yeah.
and stuff are.
and along the riverfront, there is a path down through there, a walking path.
Okay.
So it's outside of the fence of the solar farm.
Okay.
So a couple of things. First of all, I believe there was a conservation committee at some point. I need to look and see how that was established. Membership, I mean, it hasn't been active forever.
Right.
So instead of creating one, we need to look at that.
And where,
Because,
did you do that?
I can do the initial stuff, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just let me know what you find.
Yeah.
And those,
And then after that, we would probably, if it went to committee, we'd probably need a plan and how much money is involved and so on and so forth. And then it's a question of how much it is and how much you're looking for, then whether it goes to town meeting or not.
Yeah, we'll come up with a plan, but until we have a commission, probably a plan.
that's town land though.
Yeah.
Well, we can sell that for,
No, we talked about that, we didn't,
we talked about it, but
well,
we
no, I
didn't
know,
say we
but
weren't gonna sell it.
I understand, but it's a nice place and we discussed it. We're still talking about the park area, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a great place to put a canoe, take a canoe out. I mean, it's more valuable to us
Okay.
if we just have people that are interested that'll take initiative and put the time in
Yeah.
to get it organized, you know what I mean, to do the work, that's what it takes basically, is a group of people that'll donate their time, not necessarily to build the park, but to set everything up and do all the legwork.
There's possible grants out there that we could get and whatnot, so there's a whole bunch of things that have.
It could only be yeah, if you sold it, you'd have a small tax, you'd have tax come in, but whatever, but I think if it was cleared, like, to the best of your ability, legally allowed to, and made into something nice, nobody'd be camping out there, and the whole 9 yards. So,
Yeah, think?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's something that would be good.
Well, I think the commission can also take over other responsibilities like the old town hall and whatnot, and keep that under wing.
That would be great, that's great. I think that's a great thing, it just takes the people that have a little bit of extra time that they're willing to donate to setting things up and, yeah.
I've already got 4 or 5 people that are interested, so
Mhm.
it's just a matter of doing the paperwork for them, depending upon what David finds.
Yeah.
And I think it should be discussed to some extent, the responsibilities that they would have, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
that's why I
other-
think we want to see what was in place.
Right, other towns, I can't say I personally agree with everything that they take under their wing,
Right,
you know what I mean, so,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
See what I find out.
That's it for me, thank you.
Jeff,
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was supposed to be on the agenda today, but,
oh, right, well, you can certainly be on the agenda.
okay, I just want to talk.
Sorry about that,
It's okay.
we're only
I know you're
5 minutes,
watching.
3 minutes late.
You're on the agenda for 5:35, Jeff.
5:35, okay. Hasty Road. There was
Yes.
discussion of maybe closing it during the winter time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be on
Yes,
the warrant? Okay.
So, can I add one thing to that? I don't know why I woke up thinking about this the other day. Can Hasty Road and Keezer Mountain Road be 2 separate warrants? Because there may be such a thing as, some people, there's a stronger following that wants to keep one road open than the other,
Yes.
instead of having them.
two separate,
Yeah,
two separate
I'd be
things.
much more comfortable
Yeah.
if they were separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea. So that, I'll back out a little bit on this meeting. 153, is that a Providence Lake Road, excuse me, is a four-season road or two-season road?
What do you mean? We take
Our-
care of it?
Yeah, I mean, I hear winter maintenance and I hear summer
Well,
maintenance. I was just wondering if it's four seasons.
Yes,
Spring
year
and
round.
fall?
We probably should confirm that, but whoever, Danielle's uncle or whoever called,
He used to work for New Hampshire DOT, so he was sensitive to it, and plus, it's just, if,
So
if a motorcycle fell into that,
right, did he, no, but I'm
So,
just saying
yeah.
that that's the only person that we've heard say that it's summer. So did he call New Hampshire or Maine?
he called Maine DOT,
Okay.
but this, we must have paperwork saying something, right?
They never said anything
So
about
how
summer
are we
maintenance.
gonna, I just can't imagine not having paperwork with that information, that's a big deal.
Well, we have information about the plowing. I mean, because Ed went back and forth with them.
And that's what I'm
3, 4,
shocked
5
about.
times.
Okay, so why don't we clarify?
Yeah.
But Jeff, at this point, it looks like it is annual.
Okay, because I kept hearing winter, summer, so.
So what do you think? Should we close that road down too?
I don't
Only
know.
our side.
And
Yeah.
Javi brought up something about 9 months ago about a dehumidifier.
Yeah.
Did you get a dehumidifier yet?
Nope.
Okay,
Have not.
okay. And Dave, did you check on the parking in town? You were gonna look up parking spaces and talk to maybe the post
I
office?
did not.
I
Okay.
looked at,
All right.
I looked at that down, I went down in town and looked at it, Jeff. And it's kind of a triangle. I don't see how it would really benefit in as wide as it is, and it kind of goes like this. I don't know if we, by clearing it, if we gain anything, you know what I mean? Because people gotta be able to drive in and out
Well, I
and,
just didn't know what the traffic study was gonna be on that, that's all. Okay, I'm kind of amazed about the dishwasher. No, I don't do the dishes, but getting that approved so quickly, because I've been complaining about different things, like the shower aren't up to snuff yet. They don't have the turn-on valves in the showers yet. And you can get a dishwasher in a snap of a finger.
Well,
I don't think it was
it's
a
not
snap. Were you here last week?
No, I wasn't.
well, we had a discussion about it. And we came to the conclusion that whoever, people have been really generous with their time lately in helping and donating a lot of things. Well, they have to stay up to 2 hours afterwards,
Yep, I get it. I get it. I hear you.
and the dishwasher is currently being used.
Right, no, I get it.
And
It's
I
just-
agree, I
it's
get
just
your
trying to
point
find
about
out
the
it just
showers.
went so quick. Took years to get the building sided here, and now it's being sided. It took years to get the
What do you mean
floor
it took,
waxed.
what do you mean it took years to get the building sided? I just asked about it like, what, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, last year, and nobody did it?
I asked about it like 5 years ago.
Oh, I don't
It's in
remember
the-
that.
It's on, I brought up at town meeting,
Oh,
saying that the boards are rotted in the back.
I'm sorry, I don't.
It's on,
remember
it's, I can research.
that. We waited till after, we'll do it for free here.
All right, so dehumidifier we talked about, Hasty Road we talked about, carpets in the town hall. I mean, if we're spending money, can we have the carpets cleaned?
We do, we have them cleaned periodically, Jeff.
Cleaned or vacuumed?
Cleaned.
Steam cleaned, yeah?
Well, cleaned. I mean, it's not just a vacuum, they spray them and do their thing.
Professionally cleaned? Okay,
Well, they're getting paid, that means they're professional, right?
no, that just means.
Okay, well, then they're good friends.
All right. Okay, so the dishwasher, back to the dishwasher, so it's gonna be it's gonna be friendly for everybody to use, right? I mean,
You won't need a license.
Huh?
You won't need a license.
Okay. I'm just curious that everybody can
You
use
need
it.
to wash your dishes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't bring your dishes in.
You have to be a volunteer, Jeff.
Huh?
You have to go in and work in the
Chewing up
kitchen.
all my time, man, I'm trying to rifle things
I
out.
don't think we gave you a set time, Jeff.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
We did, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I think Jen washed the dishes by hand there last night.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Okay.
Plus the sanitization, you know, be sanitized properly.
Maybe we could have a fundraiser too for some of these things. You know?
Shower heads?
Well, yeah, maybe we should have a fundraiser for shower heads.
Now, is this one or all, or just,
Since we can't get the money to fix the showers, but we can get the money to fix the dishwasher, we'll have a bean supper for getting some valves for the showers.
Is it the valves or the shower heads themselves?
It's the valve controls.
Okay.
I will put those on. I apologize. Had somebody come to me and said, I want to use the shower, how come I can't? I would have put them on.
I think at some point when we do have an emergency situation out back, it should be prepared for that.
Absolutely, I agree.
And if there's ever a fire in this town, and the firemen have no place to go, and you've got outside people coming in, this would be a perfect place for them to be. And a shower would be obviously a plus for that.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for it, I think.
Okay,
Both sides checked off, Jeff?
not yet.
Okay.
Do we have to have the water tested if we're gonna be opening it up to the public?
We do that, David.
Yeah, we do that once a year.
Okay.
We have not had a single request to use that outside spigot.
No, but, well, I mean, outside, inside, doesn't matter, the water's coming from the source.
No,
I
he's-
understand.
no,
The testing requirement, though, is if the public is using the spigot.
So the public can use the inside spigot and not have to have it tested?
No, the
Nobody
public can
does,
use
yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
It's, if the public can use the water, you have to have it tested. Doesn't matter if it's inside, outside,
Yeah.
whatever. Unless they're taking it out of the gutter.
All right, so once a year it can be tested, that's all it's required,
Yeah.
once a year, whether it's inside or outside?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just a thing because I'm dealing with a gas station issue. When's the last time we had our tanks inspected, our in-ground tanks? Have we done any core samples on the tanks?
Yeah, well, not core samples, there is a,
Pressure test, right?
no, there's an enclosure around the tank. It's not a double wall tank. There's an enclosure around the tank that has to be tested annually, and that is done by the people that come to clean the tank and inspect it.
Yeah, I was just curious because, you know, once a year you test the water, but you don't test the tank.
But we do, I
But you
just
do.
told you.
You just told me. I could see the maintenance schedule then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. And back to the walking trail. Judy Ingram was part of that park thing years ago. She created a walking trail down there, so Harvey, you might want to talk to Judy, because she might have done some research on that.
Yeah, no, I was with Judy when she did that,
What's that, Harvey? I can't hear you.
so well, move that.
Was the glass? No. It protects me from
I
the
was
dog.
with her when she did, you know, when we walked through there to make the walkway that went all the way around the whole perimeter.
Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, that's about enough for today.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is everyone happy and content and wet? Okay.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have at least one thing to talk
Well,
about.
I know, because you were remiss last week. I mean, we're,
Marcus Blue, who is the representative from MMA Property and Liability Insurance, was down today. We went through the process of answering a whole bunch of questions, and he looked over the facility. He's going to provide us a quote that the insurance pool will insure us for. And, you know, he's, pardon me, Marcus, but he is a little bit of a salesman. He wants us to go with them. But I believe that his points are well taken in that they only do municipalities. They understand all of the ins and outs of municipalities. And so anyways, it will be, I have two things that I need to supply him with, and then he will have enough to create a quote from. And he said by August 15th, he would have a quote.
oh, you said he also mentioned that we should put covers over the salt and sand public access pickup point?
It's not the covers, it's that we should
Oh.
separate where the trucks and plow contractors are from where the public gets their
Okay.
sand and salt.
You weren't, but we talked about that with putting some, in fact, Harvey was involved.
Well, kind of. We talked about separating the sand and salt into two different buildings. I didn't know we necessarily decided to put,
No, there's a crash pad, there's a
yeah, no, and we
concrete
talked
pad out
about
there. and
just
we-
putting the salt in that to keep it separate, because it's kind of a pain where it is right now. We didn't necessarily, maybe we talked about.
I thought that was gonna be for the public
Well, the
to,
public only need about 6 wheelbarrows at a
Yeah.
storm. I mean, I hate to build a building separate for the
well, no,
public.
this was just using that cement pad
I know, but we
and
don't
just
want to
putting
run
a
into the
roof
weather.
cover over it.
Right, well, that, I mean, that's building a building just for a few,
No sides.
well, I guess, yeah, no,
Well, we can talk
but
about
that
it.
pad
whatever.
was pretty good size. 24 wide, maybe, something that.
Yeah, I don't,
Basically, it would just need to be big enough to hold a bucket.
Right,
As
right.
long as you can get the
I
bucket
guess you
in
could
there.
go right on the gate, like the left-hand gable end of the building, you could just build a little shed roof off of it and dump a bucket in there
Yeah.
and say that's, but, I mean, it's still.
well,
near the
this
entrance.
was out front
No,
towards
I
this.
know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
but That's a, you'd have to put like a building, you know,
Okay,
we don't need a building.
I
for
agree.
A bucket of,
And that's Secocas Road, then we got Maple. Road
Correct.
also.
yeah,
Now, is the old,
yeah, it's still standing.
yeah,
is it? Could we move
Probably
that?
you.
Is that possible?
No.
No, okay.
we could
It
use
would
it,
Stand out.
No.
just
You could dump
because
you could dump a bucket in that.
Yeah.
someone else's
Maybe that's the
property, but.
thing to do.
Well.
Close.
No, it's right on the
I
line.
think it's, yeah.
Yeah.
The salt shed is in need of repair too. The front opening still needs to be closed up.
That was Meyer though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Okay,
All right, I think that's all I have.
And I wrote on here to hold the final check for the siding until the job's done. You know, we've already paid like,
5.
not 2/3, but, or about 2/3. Keep the 1/3 until
Yeah.
the job's done.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Town report wise, will there be a dedication this year?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
West Stacy.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
my question. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay to contact, get some pictures, or are you guys?
Oh, he already knows.
Right, for the town report, can we get a picture from Sue or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Awesome.
okay? You okay? Okay. Hey, you got anything, Jess, or
Nope,
your guy came through? It looks very nice.
Yeah, it sure does.
I was getting there, yeah.
Good things take a little longer.
Yeah, no, fine. He was here when he told me he'd be here, so.
Mm.
And you say, we saved a few $1,000
Yes.
too. Okay, folks, well, that's it. 49 minutes of fun and frivolity. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Keep forgetting that.